So as you know, today we're talking about the millennial generation, and I want to focus on business and that entrepreneurial spirit. You got this online world, very good opportunity to start a business right now. Joining us on the show, MurrayNewlands, entrepreneur, contributor with Forbes, the CMO of Tribe. Murray, good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
So let's talk about that entrepreneurial spirit. You've got into a lot of these different business ventures yourself. You're in a pretty cool one right now with Tribe. Talk to us about how you started in business.
I started in business 20 odd years ago as a lawyer, and I hated it. I didn't find it very productive. It wasn't very exciting, and it really wasn't where I wanted to spend the rest of my life. So I took some time out. Actually, at the time, I was dating a graphic designer, and I realized that speaking to her and some of her friends, that the design and marketing space was where people were being creative. They were involved in creative meetings. And I took her portfolio case. I walked around industrial parks and I sold graphic design services. And that's how I started my first business. And from the moment of switching from being a lawyer to doing that, I suddenly realized that I would go to people's companies. I would talk about their marketing, their branding, their design. And that was a creative moment in their day, and I was dealing with the creative people at the creative moment of their day in a creative sense, and that was where I wanted to spend the rest of my life.
Give me an idea, Murray, of what year that was.
That would have been literally 20 years ago.
Okay, so quite some time ago. So you've been involved with a lot of businesses. Tribe is one of your successful enterprises right now. But let's fast forward to today. We're speaking to millennials. There's a lot of people that are trying to build online businesses. To me, it's a very fine line between, that entrepreneur who just thinks it's easy, wants to hide behind their computer, versus someone who's leveraging what I consider to be the most opportunistic time in the history of mankind to build a brand, aggregate attention. You do stuff online. Explain the landscape that we're in right now.
So right now there's a plethora of opportunities to build a business online in many different spaces. What you need to do is you need to work out exactly where your audience is and what they care about and what they need, and then provide a service that is what they need in a way that they care about and offer it to them through online media. So think about who your customer is and what they really need. Right now there's many opportunities to buy from hundreds of different people, but people buy from people. Why should they care about buying your service from you? We've seen over the last year, for example, a huge back push against Uber because it wasn't the brand promise. The brand promise of freedom and of change to society has been broken, whereas the brand promise of Lyft, which was the number 2, is actually coming together because it's much more focused on the brand quality of drivers and helping society. And so you've got to create a brand promise that people want to buy the products and services they can probably buy from various other people, but from you. So use social media to build and connect with that brand promise, and then you'll find customers.
One of the things that's interesting, you just brought up Uber. Let's bring up Amazon. Amazon is a company that's become the #1 retailer that doesn't have a retail, right? Now they've started opening up shops because people will look online and then they'll make their buying decision in person. I think it's fascinating that they're adding overhead to be able to execute on more sales and profitability. When I listen to you talk about building brand online, I think that's so important, but we have to remember that a lot of businesses still leads back to in-person, leads back to more handshakes. You hear B2B, B2C, H to H, human to human, and I really think online you can cast that out and bring more connections to you in person, if that's the type of business that you have, an offline business, so to speak. Real quick, tell us about Tribe, the organization that you're now the CMO of.
So Tribe is a platform for influencers to engage with their audience. We're creating shows in the NFL space and also in the lifestyle space, where often for example, we watch YouTube celebrities, but there's no true way of engaging with them. They get millions of comments and there's no true engagement there. Or you see someone live streaming and the comments just go past in a infinite mess. So with Tribe, we've created a platform where you can have true engagement with the celebrity, with the show. You can create direction in the show. You can ask quizzes within the show. So to provide that level of engagement that we want online, but we're not able to get through other platforms. Right now, we're going into the entertainment space, but we'll also be looking at the business space very shortly.
Interesting. Well, I hope our audience can check you out. You're a wealth of knowledge, contributor for Forbes. Thanks for being a contributor on The American Dream. I hope to have you on again soon. And for all you millennials out there, this is great information. It's a great opportunity. Murray is an example of someone who's been successful as an entrepreneur, now doing this online game. So great guy to check out. Thanks, Murray. Appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you very much for having me. See you next time.
All right. More of The American Dream coming up next.